Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, July the 20th. I'm Clay Emo at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, and I'm a founding member of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. Some positive news, some good news for Canucks fans. Earlier this morning, the club announced that they re-signed one of their two remaining RFAs, their two remaining restricted free agents. They signed defenseman Troy Stecher to a 2-year, $4.65 million contract, basically $2.325 million per year for the next 2 seasons. That means only forward Jake Virtanen is the last guy to be signed by the Canucks. He's the remaining restricted free agent. No arbitration date set for Virtanen, so it looked, hopefully, and all signs point to the Canucks and Virtanen coming to agreement soon. With Troy Stecher signing this morning, he avoids arbitration for him and the team. It was set for July 29, but you can throw those plans out the window, and I'm thrilled for my fellow Richmond native. For those of you not from the Lower Mainland, Richmond is a suburb of Vancouver, attached to Vancouver basically, and I was born and raised in Richmond all 44 years of my life, as was Troy Stecher. He's not 44, but he was raised in Richmond, so I'm glad to have that tie with him, even though I had nothing to do with his contract or any of his playing ability. So congrats to Troy Stecher, 2 years, $2.325 million per year. It's a great contract. It's a great contract for him. It's a great contract for the team. And I think you on Twitter agree with me. I usually do when a Canucks news breaks. I put a poll up on Twitter saying, what do you think of this contract? 2 years, $2.325 million per year. Is it A, good term, good money, B, good term, bad money, C, bad term, good money, and D, bad term, bad money? And I got 150 votes in a couple hours, and 87% of you, overwhelming majority, said good term, good money. Only 5% said good term, bad money, so I'm presuming you're thinking that 2.325 is a little too high. I'm sure no one's saying it's too low. Then 7% of you said bad term, good money, so maybe you wanted only a 1 year or a 3 year. And only 1% of 150 people is only 1 or 2 people. It's not really 1.5 people. So we know that only 1 or 2 people say that it was a bad term, bad money, so a bad contract overall. So 87%, the majority has spoken, good term, good money. Like I said, it's a great contract for the team and the player. It gives the team a lot of flexibility. They have the ability to walk away, the option to walk away after 2 years and not re-sign him after that, although I don't see that happening. I think Stecher can be a very valuable player. I'll get to that in a second. And for Troy Stecher's perspective, he gets a significant raise over the $900,000 he was making, up to 2.3, and then it's still only 2 years, so he has the flexibility to up his value over the next 2 years as he continues to develop as a player. He's 24 years old, so he's more mature than some of the obviously the younger defensemen that are coming in the system, and he earned Travis Green's trust throughout the season as his ice time increased throughout the year. He wants to be an all situations guy, obviously even strength. Every guy's got to play even strength, but he wants to play on the power play. He wants to play on the penalty kill. He's not the biggest guy. He's a decent skater. He's got good offensive instincts. But the one thing about him is his compete level. Troy Stecher is one of the toughest players. Notice I didn't say the biggest or best fighter or roughest, but he's one of the Canucks' toughest players when you think about his toughness compared to his size. So because he's only 5'10", he has to be really smart with his stick. He has to use good hockey IQ. Not hockey haiku. He has a good hockey IQ, and he's got to be really good with his body positioning. And one thing about Stecher, in his toughness, you see the way he's not afraid to rub out guys along the boards. He's not afraid of contact in front of the net. He's taking pucks and sticks to the face, being cut up a lot. He's had knee injuries. He's a tough player. He's durable. He still plays over 65 games last year, despite having a knee injury for part of that season. So I think he's a very valuable player. At $2.325 million, he's actually the 6th highest paid defenseman behind Edler, Tanev, Gudbranson, Delzato, and Hutton, which makes sense. And with Stecher, those are basically your top 6. Then you have Biega and you have Pouliot on the outside looking in. Then, of course, there's Quinn Hughes, still trying to figure out if he's going to go pro or go back to Michigan. And then there's Olli Juolevi. So I don't freak out because those are 8 guys. Those are 10 guys I just mentioned, right? And again, it's Edler, Tanev, Gudbranson, Delzato, Hutton, Stecher, Biega, Pouliot, Hughes, and Juolevi. And you might say, well, Clay, you obviously can't play 10 defensemen at one time. Of course you can't. But we've seen with any team, especially the Canucks, they use 10, 11, sometimes even 12 defensemen throughout the season. So don't freak out. We will see Juolevi. Quinn Hughes, depending on where he signs, we'll likely see him, or I hope to see him. So don't worry, don't freak out about who starts the season. It's more who's going to play the majority of the games as the season goes on because of poor play and or injury. So one other thing I want to talk about, looking ahead, projecting what the Canucks D is going to look like in a couple years, quite fascinating actually. After the season, there's only 4 Canucks, not include. So let's not talk about Hughes or Ulevy. Of those 8 guys, the pro guys, only 4 of them are under contract for next year. That would be Tanev, that would be Goodbranson, that would be Stecher, of course, and that's Alex Biega. So that means Edler's contract's expiring, Del Zotto's contract's expiring, Ben Hutton's contract's expiring, and Derek Pouliot's contract expiring. Take that one more year, and only one player has a contract signed for 2 seasons out from now, and that's the last year of Eric Goodbranson's year. That means Tanev's done, Stecher's done, and Biega's done. So that means in 2 or 3 years, depending on development, we could see a defense that has Goodbranson still, but has guys like Quinn Hughes, Olli Juolevi, Jet Wu, Breezeball, Chatfield, maybe even Jack Rathbone, maybe Nikita Trampkin if he comes back. Imagine that as your 8 guys instead of the 8 guys we have now. And that's, of course, not taking into account the re-signings of a guy like Troy Stecher, if he has if he does well in this 2-year contract term. So a lot of options. It's kind of neat to look and project ahead, but that's down the road. We know that for this season, we have now 8 guys under contract with Quinn Hughes and Olli Juolevi still to try and crack the team as well, perhaps. So it'll be an interesting battle at training camp. We got a lot of time to talk about that. So Canucks fans, leave a comment below. I think I know what you're going to say, but tell me, do you like the term, 2 years? Do you like the money, $2.325 million a year? If so, put that down below. If you don't like it, if you don't like the term and or the money, leave a comment below and tell me what you would rather, what you would rather him get, what you would rather see in a contract. Tell me about Troy Stecher. Do you like the way he plays? What do you think his maximum is? What do you think his ceiling is when it comes to being a player? Can he score 20 points, 30 points, even 40 points this season with increased ice time? And lastly, while you're down in the comments, playing around in the comments, leave a comment about Jake Virtanen. What do you think he's going to get? Will he get a 2-year, 3-year contract? Hopefully not just a 1 year, but maybe he gets a 1 year. And what's he going to get? 1 million, 1.5 million, 1.75, maybe as high as 2. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. So leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply to it. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. And like this video if you like what I'm doing with this channel. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. By the way, I scored a goal, my first and last goal of the roller hockey season. It was in a playoff game. We won 10-7. I scored an empty netter. I did actually a nice block off my shin pad, and I put it in the empty net from center on my backhand, no less. My one and only goal for the season, because I'm going out of town. I can't see the rest of the rest of the season through. So go Holy Rollers, go Canucks, go. Enjoy your day. God bless.